Let me tell you, this male loneliness thing has nothing to do with feminism. A couple months ago, my daughter went to this pretty advanced high school science competition. I can't tell you which one because I have too many enemies on the internet and I can't risk doxing my kid. But it was a long written test that lasted a whole day, and lunch was provided by the organizer. At lunchtime, they were told to sit at this round table and eat. There were about a dozen contestants from different schools, and all except my daughter were boys, which was already kind of tragic because apparently girls don't receive as much encouragement and support if they want to pursue science. But that's not what I want to talk about. So my daughter sat down at the table first, and guess what? None of the boys sat next to her. Eventually, all seats were taken except for the two next to her. What the heck? That was offensive to say the least. Of course, I'm skeptical about men who are overly proactive toward women, but it's equally unhealthy for men to be scared of women. I mean, if you're in a party and you're expected to flirt but you don't know how, I understand. But this is an academic setting. You're supposed to talk about the science stuff and ask each other how they did in the first half of the test. Why the heck do you have to avoid girls? So all those people out there blame feminism for the male loneliness. But how does feminism have anything to do with high school boys sitting away from girls? They're killing their own chance, right? Here's my theory. I think a lot of boys grow up in a segregated environment. The toys they receive on birthdays, the TV shows that are fed to them, the play dates that are arranged for them, the activities in preschools were all gender coded. And the boys keep being reminded that they are supposed to differ from girls. And some creepy adults even make inappropriate jokes when their boys interact with girls. All these small things, day after day, basically build a wall between genders and make the boys' future social lives much harder. I'm not saying all these shy boys will become women haters when they grow up. Some of them may grow out of it. I had childhood friends who used to be like that, but they later turned out okay. But a lot of them will stay in the shadows throughout their dating age. And even worse, some of them will go to another extreme because they see interactions with girls as such an insurmountable skill. They pride themselves in mastering that skill, and then they see girls as prizes in their skill competitions. You know, like those fuckers in 13 Reasons Why. Donald is a pretty typical example of that. He went to a male-only high school and later had to sleep around to compensate. Totally pathetic. Both of these traits, extreme shyness and extreme predatoriness, have something to do with childhood gender enforcement. I mean, of course, everything has something to do with childhood, but this problem particularly, the inability of men to interact naturally and pleasantly with women, should definitely be blamed on their upbringings. I found a lot of studies on this. Well, actually, AI found them for me, but this shit is real. I didn't just pull it out of thin air. If a boy chooses to have a masculine identity, I don't think there's anything wrong. But it's ridiculous for parents to keep affirming that identity with carrots and sticks. Like what? You think your boy doesn't know how masculine he should be and needs your guidance? That's some stupid God complex. When the movie Frozen just came out, it was still in theaters only. My son was still a little toddler, and he made us take him to watch it in the theater 5 times. My wife and I had to take turns because it was too much for either of us. I bet a lot of stupid parents would just deny their sons that pleasure because the movie was not for boys. My daughter actually only watched it twice because she was old enough to get tired of things quickly. Actually, my daughter was so fed up with princesses at some point that she stopped wearing dresses and skirts for about 8 years. Okay? And only a few months ago did she reintroduce herself to dresses. It's just so amazing to see children choose their own path and make changes on their own terms. By the way, my son, despite how many times he watched Frozen, is now the first athletic guy in our family, and even tries to train me to play basketball. I was like, I'm an independent man. You don't get to tell me how to live my life. I just don't get why so many parents have so much insecurity about their children's gender identity. Like, do you really think a man who's ignorant about women's world is sexually attractive? No. There are plenty of studies that prove the opposite. Oh, there's another quote from my daughter that I want to share. So I once asked her why all the K-pop boy idols look so feminine. She was like, duh, because boys only look good when they look like girls. Well, that was insightful. But it's another topic. I need to go somewhere. But let's talk about it next time.